So tell me about the place.
So this was the first general store established in the Okanagan Valley, and it was established in 1872 by Cornelius O'Keefe. A couple years later, he also opened the post office, which would be in the same building over here. And he ran them both for about 20 years until he started also running it, but also given responsibility to some of his kids and other people to run the shop. So the shop would be open for about 2 hours every day, sometimes over that, depending on the need of the community. And people would come in here and get their mail and get anything that they needed. And also in the colder months, you'd sit around the fire and we'd make coffee and tea and any other hot drink and sit and chat. It's like a social gathering place as well. So everything that would be in the general store, you could get dried food items, you could get like items you get here, like things that people would make, like snowshoes and stuff like that. Most of the furniture pieces and clothing would be ordered in. So you'd be ordering things in through the Eaton catalog, and you get that shipped over from Toronto. Eaton is a company based in Toronto. And they would mail over everything that you ordered out of the catalog, and it would all come in pieces as well. So one of the things we order out of there a lot would be clothing. So you would give them your measurements and stuff, and they would send you pieces of clothing, and you'd have to sew them all together yourself, including the high-class women, like the O'Keefes, all knew how to sew. You could also buy some candies and stuff here. Some of these are, of course, newer than the 1870s, but some of them aren't. For example, the Pontefract cakes. Those are an old English licorice, and they've been shipped into the store since pretty much its foundation.
Which one's that?
These ones over here. And we've got an old tin of them over here. So this is the kind of tin that they used to come in.
Pretty closer. So that's an original tin?
Yeah.
Wow.
Of the Pontefract cakes from back in the day.
Cool.
This one is from 1888.
And they're candy?
Yeah, so they're licorice.
Oh, licorice, okay.
Wow,
this is such an interesting place.
Yeah, and then all of these tins, like things used to come in tins. It's actually kind of funny because it's a lot more environmental to put things in tins like this, because you'd buy a tin and then you'd continue to refill that tin as you needed.
Use, yeah. Unlike today, everything's one use, throw it away. Wow. Well, they really did it well.
Yeah.
Everything looks like it was purposely made for this store.
Yeah. This is actually the original scale that was in the general store way back in the day, and it's still zeroed.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah, and we have examples of fruits and stuff in here that you could get, but you could only get those, of course, when they're in season. So there's lots of orchards and stuff in the Okanagan, so lots of apple orchard, lots of grape vineyards, stuff like that. But you could only get those when they're in season. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes they would also have meats and stuff in here to sell from the local ranchers. Like Cornelius would bring his meat in here sometimes, his cow meat, his beef, to sell and stuff like that. Any other food would have to be dried food that could survive being shipped.
Did the gramophones work?
Not anymore, unfortunately.
No, that'd be cool if you can get one running.
Yeah, the one that's up worked until
this one? Yeah.
Last year. It got wound too tightly, so
that's one of the original ones too. The drum one too.
It is. So it's got the Edison cylinders. So, and we've actually got here an old broken blank Edison cylinder. So they of course would have no grooves on them, and that is a blank one. So the thing about the blank ones is this is a fancy kind of gramophone, so you can actually wind this backwards and speak into it and record your own voice onto a blank Edison cylinder.
Is that Bakelite? Do you know what kind of plastic it is?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, usually plastics back then were all Bakelite. That's amazing. Wow. Edison.
Yeah, so you could record your own voice into here as well, which is something that Mr. O'Keefe did a couple times. So the curators are trying to get that so we can display it for the public.
And how many? Do you know how large the property is?
The property upon the foundation of the ranch was about 12,000 acres.
Wow.
Now it's more like 40.
40, yeah. So it's been bought up by.
Yeah, bought off, and then
extra.
when Tierney O'Keefe sold it as a historical site to turn it into a museum, they sold off a bunch of the extra land as well. That was
So O'Keefe, I've heard that name before. Is she the she had something to do with the entertainment industry, or?
I actually don't know. There's a brewery in town that's like O'Keefe Brewery.
Okay.
There's also like the ranch. I don't know about entertainment.
Yeah, in Toronto, there's a place called the O'Keefe Center. So
okay.
I'm not sure if
It
there's
could
any
be because a
relationship
couple
there.
of Cornelius O'Keefe's daughters moved back to Ontario
Right.
when they were married, and he was born in Fairfield, just outside of Ottawa.
Oh, yeah.
So his parents and any other descendants would be in Ontario.
And there's another O'Keefe from, I think, California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of them moved down to California,
Yeah, yeah.
including Eileen O'Keefe, who was a nurse. She actually performed the first blood transfusion
Oh, really?
in North America. And
Really cool. What's your name?
Lydia.
Lydia? I'll make sure you get credit.
Thank you.
Thank you.